Hey, good morning. It's Dave Lockwood with Demolition, and I'm just here to talk to you about our journey. We are running at a pretty good pace, so I'm going to overuse this word a little bit, but I'm pretty excited about all of this. The search engine optimization that we're doing is working. I did searches in a whole bunch of different areas that we're moving into, and it works. I saw a statistic yesterday that I had no idea about. Let's see, what is this guy's name? Rankability is the name of the company. I was watching a YouTube video on it, and he said this. He said that 97% of all websites have zero organic traffic. Now think about that. Think about that in your competition. Now, if you're in a very competitive business like, let's say, makeup, or you're in a competitive business like selling t-shirts or something like that, I don't think it really probably applies to that as much as it does or it doesn't help. It's not helpful for that as much as it is for a brick and mortar business like myself. My competition, if 97% of them are not getting organic traffic sent to their sites, do you realize what a huge opportunity that is for us? It's significant. And the fact that we've been able to rank on some of our best keywords, and we're on the front page. We're not in the position that I want to be. I want to be they call it above the fold. I want to be where you don't have to scroll the screen down to get to us. And right now, a lot of keywords we're up on the top part of the screen, but most of them were below the fold. So that's the next goal. So that's what we're working on. So right now I hired a guy. His name's Vlad. He's been working with me, and basically he's just writing articles every day. And what I think about in my mind is that we're playing catch up. Should have been doing this years ago. I didn't fully understand it, at least not like I do now. And I'm very excited. And I seen one set of, now I have about almost 400 keywords that are logged into Wincher and SEMrush. I have that many on a list. Now you can't use that many keywords in your articles or your pages, but you can use a little splattering of each one of those. What I've noticed is that if I put Naples selective demolition, but I also put Naples, Sarasota, Fort Myers Beach, and that in the title, that ad is ranking for Naples, it's ranking for Sarasota, it's ranking for Bradenton, it's ranking for all of them. That's something that's a big question mark I had about that, and a lot of that's probably got to do with the machine learning, because it sees that. I can't believe that this is. I have the saying that I say all the time. I say, everything's easy when you know how. Okay? So, and maybe that doesn't apply to everything. I mean, like, let's say you want to become a baseball player and you're throwing the ball at 95 miles per hour. Well, I don't know if that applies to that, but it applies in the business world. You know, and the beautiful thing about the business world is it's very similar to playing sports. You get to play the game and you get to see a result, and that result gives you a reward. It's the same thing. The difference between a business and a sport is eventually the sport, you're going to age out on the sport pretty young. The beautiful thing about business is, hey, I'm 60 years old and I'm still rocking. So what I'm trying to do is not get ahead of myself and do a bunch of work for nothing. So I started we're calling it Remove It Pro's Junk Removal University. I started that, and I did the first 2 lessons, and I sent them over to Kenny. And Kenny is my other. He's got a lot of experience. Excuse me for that. And I wanted to hear what he had to say. Now this stuff is all information that I run my life on, my business on. So it's not really special to me. It's not unique, very unique to me, because it's part of the way I've lived for a long time, and it's the way that I operate what we do. So when I talk about these things, I'm just repeating something that I talk about all the time, and I don't think about how special it is. Now Kenny, he listens to it and he goes, "Wow, this is really good." And I'm like, "Gosh, I really needed to hear that." So, at any rate, what we're doing is cool. This applies to so many different things. You could use the business sense that we use to do our business and apply it to anything. All right, so let's talk about the junk removal book. Now, I'm talking to another lady who I'm going to have her help me write the next book that I'm going to put out, which is going to be on repurposing stuff. And I sent her over the junk removal book before we printed it. And I told her before I sent it to her that I'm not going to rewrite it. And she's given me, she just ignored that and basically said, there are some things you need to fix in this book before you send it off. So now I got a dilemma. I think it's good. I think it's really good. Do I slow this down again and let her do that and then send it back to, I don't know how long it'll take. I don't know how long it'll cost, what it'll cost. But I feel very, very good about it. So I don't know. I might just go ahead and print the book. So basically what I've done here is I basically took a whole year and I hyper-focused on what Daryl Ives talked about and some of the other guys and Alex Hormozy about building trust. So I built trust for a year. So now it's time to go ahead and start making money. This part of what we're doing is really not making any money at all. And I have, Hudson's salary. I have Kenny's salary. Now I have Lad's salary, my salary. So you got a lot of money involved in this so far. And to me, until you know that it's making money, it's not making money. So I do think it's going to work. I'm pretty confident about it. And again, we're conquering several things all at the same time. The little statement of, I was telling Logan, I feel like I'm scaling Kilimanjaro. Meanwhile, I'm scaling Mount Everest at the same time. And what I mean by that is I'm building the books and the stuff to give us credibility on this hand. And I am, at the same time, we're growing our brick and mortar business all over the state of Florida. So it's a big thing to do. Now, the further I get into it and the more knowledge that I have, the less cumbersome it is and the less difficult it is, because now I know. Now I feel fairly confident, although I feel like I'm in kindergarten when it comes to SEO, and I want to at least get into high school with it. So we're going to do this every day. I'm going to immerse myself in it every day until I understand it like I understand a lot of the things that we do all the time. So, something to talk about that's kind of not necessarily off subject, but so here's the thing about business. Okay. If you're going to go into business for yourself, you're going to become an entrepreneur. You're going to start out as a solopreneur most likely, because you're going to have to do a lot of this yourself for a while until you can afford to pay somebody else, until you have steady profit. And the biggest thing that people do, and you'll hear this a lot through history, and I've seen it a lot. You'll have people who are rocking and rolling, heading into something new that they've never done before, and they don't give it enough time. So what happens is, how good was a baseball player the first time he pitched the baseball? I mean, did it even go over the plate? Did it go anywhere in the right direction that it should have? Did it have enough speed? And so on and so forth. So it's just like anything. Anything that's good, anything that's worth doing, it takes some time to get good at it. The cool thing about us as human beings is we learn very quickly. So the thing about it is failures are not failures. Failures are something you tried that didn't work. And it's not a failure. It's not I'm successful or I'm failure. I'm a failure on everything you try. So things that, the more things you try, the better you're going to get. The more things you try in a shorter period of time, the faster you're going to get better. And the thing about it is grit. Grit is this. Grit is continuing on, knowing that you're going to figure out the success and not getting discouraged or hung up on each one of these little failures that come along. If you try something and it doesn't work and you know you're on the right journey, then that's all that matters. Now, what's the right journey? Here's what the right journey is for you. So, in my junk removal book gives you a lot of opportunities, but the right journey for you is whatever you love. If you do something and you work in something that you love, if you really, really like what you're doing, you don't get up and go and dread it every day. I love what I'm doing. I love what I'm doing. I think this is the coolest thing in the world. And the fact that I get to give, Tony Robbins talks about the secret of living is giving. And he's right, And there are a lot of things that you do, or I do. There are, in my belief, my beliefs as a Christian, there's a lot of things that I do that I don't tell anybody about because I want the rewards in heaven. I don't want the rewards here. There's a lot of stuff that we do that I tell people about because I do want to show a little bit of stuff that we do here, just to provide examples mainly. Not really looking for accolades. I'm really not. Now, an accolade in, hey, you helped me go off on my own and become my own businessman, and that's changed the course of my life and my children's lives. Now that's exciting. That's what I want to see. That's what I wanted to do. So back to grit. Okay, what grit is this. It's knowing that you're on the right course because you know you love it, you're going to be good at it. Understanding that guys like me are telling you that you're going to do really well with it once you get it figured out. The third thing is just grinding through and learning. Learning. Don't let anybody get in your way. Don't ask people around you for their opinions. They're not going to support you. And they're not going to not support you because they hate you. They're not going to not support you because they got an issue with you. They may not support you because they love you. They're going to look at maybe your track record in the past, which you got to erase from your mind. You can't live in the past. You got to say, okay, from here today forward, this is what I'm doing. Not what I'm gonna do. This is what I'm doing. The difference between gonna do and doing is significant. A lot of people use that language. They'll say, I'm gonna do something. Well, gonna pushes it into the future. If you're doing something, you're doing it. It's a big difference. It's a very slight mindset change, but a big difference. So the thing that you got to understand is anything worthwhile is not going to be easy. And after a while, you're going to find out that everything is easy because you know how. Okay? So this is Remove It Pros Demolition. This is our pure entrepreneur site. This is me talking to you about what we're doing and how we're growing and the things that we're doing to get into this new marketplace and to do something that's reproducible. We know how to run Remove It Pros. We're really good at that. We understand it. We've got our systems. We've got our procedures. Now we're going to take it to a new marketplace. The only thing we don't know how to do is how to market it in a short period of time and get traction so that we can support the expense of a building, because it's going to be a big building and it's going to be an expensive building. and to go ahead and move in and have our second Reuse It Pros location. The other question is we got to find the right people to help us run it. People who will buy into our vision and our journey, and who are going to love what they're doing. And so back to loving what you're doing. The junk removal business, you could take me anywhere in the country. Honestly, I could start with a bicycle. I'm never going to do this, just so you know, but I'm just telling you. I'd put a little trailer on a bicycle and go around garbage day and pick stuff up. I don't know how long it would take for me to get traction, but I would get traction very quickly. Then I would start running ads on Craigslist and on social media for free until I got people who were calling me up and having me come and get stuff. I'd go get that stuff, I'd put it up for sale, and I would get ahead very quickly. That's what I would do. Now, why do I love this so much? Because it's like Christmas every day. I get to help people, which I love to do, and I also get to I get stuff. I get paid for what I didn't sow. If you read the Bible, I'm getting paid for stuff that I didn't sow, mainly because I just got enough sense to understand it, and I'm set up to handle it. So, all right, that's it. So it's Remove It Pros Demolition, and I'll see you on the next video.